What's up, y'all? I'm Leon Frierson, former cast member from Nickelodeon's All That and co-host of the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. And I'm here to ask you to join me in watching the Michael Finkley Show weekly on YouTube. Now, I've been on the show, so I definitely know it's a platform where you'll be educated, informed, and inspired. Now, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on YouTube.
Our guests today have had a total of over 60 jobs in their lifetime so far. We have Tabitha James and Tasha Marshall, and we receive career advice from Richard Drosin. Jobs, jobs, jobs on the next Finkley. All coming up next.
The night, just to see a brighter side, 'cause I've been working all my life just to make it, just to make it, just to make it. I've been working all my life.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. Thanks for joining us today. So today we're talking about jobs. So it made me reminisce, how many jobs have I had over these span of years? So I started working at the age of, I think it was 12, 13 years old at this little side store, literally down the street from where we were living. And I would go there, I was, stock sodas, clean up around the parking lot. And it was this big ditch around the store, so literally I would have to clean the ditch every so often because people would just throw trash and things around it. But as time went on, I did Burger King for 6 years, started my sophomore year in high school, and I continued until I graduated from college. And so ever since then, it's been a job after a job after a job. And so I think I calculated to it being almost 20 jobs since I started at 12, 13 years old until current day. And so I'm just like, that sounds like a lot. But as a millennial, there's no excuse, but as a millennial, it's common, for us to jump from job to job to job to job. I feel like the old fashioned way and staying at one job for 40, 50, 60 years is somewhat obsolete in this new day in which we're living in now. And so you will see a lot of persons my age that have had multiple jobs. And that's what our guests say today. Our guests today combined have had over 60 jobs in their lives. We have Tabitha James and also Tasha Marshall with us today, and they're explaining their stories and what they're doing present day. And we also had to bring in an expert, a career coach, to say, is this normal? Is this what it's going to be from years to come? Richard Drosin's with us with his awesome expert advice. So y'all, on the show you don't want to miss. Don't you go away. We'll be right back. Coming up, we have Tasha Marshall with us. We'll be right back. On the next Michael Finkley. From This Is Us and Good Trouble, we have actor Thomas Anthony Jones, and the Fantasia impersonator Javelin DeBose is with us and performs. Next Finkley. Wednesday.
I'm just not college material. I am tired of school. I'm just not sure what I want to do after graduation. Sound familiar? Welcome to the Prelo Educational Institute. Our focus is to help young people prepare for life after high school. It's never too early to start planting the seed for education, career, and life overall. The Prelo Educational Institute is made up of the following two products. The first product is the book titled I Ain't Going to College, A Guide for Life After High School. This is the first book of a series that introduces middle and high school students to a young man struggling to find his way and make the decision about whether attending college is the right choice for him or not. The book has questions inside, and a supplemental curriculum can also be purchased. The newest product from the Prelo Educational Institute is our online course titled Preparing for Life After High School. In this course, students will learn about decision-making, self-confidence, accountability, self-awareness, and many other topics that speak to social-emotional learning. Young people will read a story about a young man who never gave up, no matter what the circumstances were. The course is interactive and has questions, quizzes, and video. Do not wait until your child or student is a senior in high school to start planning. Enroll today. To enroll and learn more, please visit www.speakerauthormarlowe.com.
She is flexible and she is a multitasker. She is a wife, a mom. She is city councilwoman.
When I was growing up, Mom worked outside the house, and so my dad was an entrepreneur. I saw him leaving early in the morning or late at nights to go meet with clients, and he was always one who told me, if you show up on time, you're late.
I just admire how she's able to not only juggle the demands of her jobs, but keep her family really first.
The outstanding thing about the Isaac family is their noble contributions to improving the quality of life for our Colombians and people all over this state.
I,
Tamika Isaac, do solemnly swear.
discharge the duties thereof, so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and best wishes.
I first ran because I saw a need, I saw a void that needed to be filled, a voice that wasn't there. And over the last several years, I feel like I've been able to be that voice.
So often as women in whatever spaces that we're in, we are often discounted because we're a mom or we're a wife or we have this career, and she's an everyday woman who shows women what excellence looks like.
She has walked the walk of being a small business person, of being a parent, of sending her kids to school.
Columbia is a great place, and we have done a lot in the last few years as far as law enforcement. But law enforcement can't do everything, nor should it do everything. We have to really expand upon the tools, technology, and community policing, investing in our communities so that law enforcement is a partner with our communities. Being a Columbia native, I've seen the way this city has grown. It's grown to the point that sometimes not everybody's been a part of that growth. I want to make sure that communities, specifically communities of color, make sure that they are part of Columbia's present and its future. I want to have a climate plan for this city that not only helps us be sustainable, but also helps provide opportunities for folks in the workforce. There are so many opportunities to take advantage of technology, green energy. I want to be the advocate for growing our city and being on the forefront, not just looking at what other cities are doing and following them, but being the leader.
If you don't have the right leadership, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
I think having a woman as mayor of the city of Columbia is long overdue.
I'm Tamika Isaac Devine, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Columbia.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We are still talking about jobs. Our guests have had some awesome jobs and a lot of jobs within their lifetime thus far. We have another person with us today who says that she's had 32 jobs in her lifetime thus far. Here is Tasha Marshall. Tasha, my bestie, how are you?
I am excellent. How are you?
I am super well. Thanks for asking. So, Tasha, 32 jobs? How?
I know. Let's just say in my 20s, I was definitely a hustler. So to give a little bit of background, I graduated college in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2010, we were in the middle of the recession. So it was really hard to get jobs, and also just being a new graduate, like you get a lot of just like random odd jobs like in your 20s. So I've had a lot of those. I know my family used to pick on me, and they will be like, are you still working at that place or did you quit? Because like I would have a job for like 3 or 4 months, and then I would be like, all right, I'm out of here. So yeah, 32 jobs. And the reason why I know it's 32 is because when I filled out my bar application, you have to write down every job you've ever had. So ever
Really?
since then, I've been yes, like when you apply to become an attorney, like they want to know everything. They want to
Oh.
know, yes, like it's a very thorough process. Like I'm barred in Massachusetts, but some states they do a fingerprint. Some states, they do, I mean, all states they do a thorough background check, but some states they want more information than others. So in Massachusetts, they want to know every single job that you've ever had.
Hmm. Wow. And out of those
Yeah.
32 jobs, what would you say was one of your best?
Hmm. One of my best jobs. I would say, well, I don't have a job per se, but I'll say a career
Hmm.
that I had. So I used to do apartment leasing, and I
I
really enjoyed
remember.
it. Yes, like I started apartment leasing in 2008. Um, and then what I liked about apartment leasing, I also moved around a lot in my
Hmm.
20s. So I lived in North Carolina, then I lived in Boston, then I lived in DC, then I lived in Maryland, and then I came back to Massachusetts. So what I like about leasing is that there's always work. Like there's always work available.
Yeah.
Like you can go to a temp agency, which is a good way to get a job, because it gives them a chance to try you out and see if they want to hire you full time. But also the turnover rate in leasing is very like fast as well.
Hmm.
So I think that's another reason why I kind of liked it, because it's like, you could start off not really knowing anything, and then 3 months later you get bumped up, because somebody else quit. It's a rough job. Like it's a very, very rough job.
Wow. Wow. Oh, I remember your stories. I
Right.
remember your stories in it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I couldn't do that. Oh no, no ma'am, no ham, no Sam. And in your
That's funny.
32 jobs, Tasha, what did you learn about Tasha?
Hmm. I learned that, wow, you kind of stumped me on that one. Wow. What did I learn about me? I learned a lot about what I like and what I didn't like.
Mm,
After graduating from undergrad, it was really hard to just figure out what I wanted to do, right? Because it's
yeah.
like, you go to undergrad for these 4 years, and then you graduate, and it's a big thing, and then the next day, reality sets in. Like I'm an adult, I'm unemployed. Um, so I spent a lot of time, like I said, doing like odd jobs. And then one day I just did like four squares. So I did like things I hate to do, things I love to do, things I like to do, and just things that like I dislike to do. It's not that bad. And I think that by doing that, that really helped me narrow down like what I wanted to do. So I realized like, okay, I like working with people, which was a really great transferable skill when I
Yeah.
became a lawyer. Um, I realized that I like working in groups. I like working in teams, right? So being like a back office accountant probably is not going to work for me, right?
Mhm.
I realized that I don't like answering the phone for other people. Like I don't like transferring phone calls. I know that's like such a random
But
thing.
you
Exactly.
know, yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Right.
Yes. And in that time frame as well, Tasha, someone out there as well is probably going through what you have went through in job hopping and trying to find yourself and that type of thing. What advice would you tell them?
Keep hopping. Just like keep hopping. Um, I think that it takes a long time to figure out what you like and what you don't like. I know that like so when you're desperate for a job, um, sometimes you accept a job that you may not necessarily like. So um or like doing things that you may not necessarily be interested in doing. So for example, like let's say you have kids. I don't have kids, but for example, if someone had kids and they said our hours are, I don't know, 9 to 5, but you got to pick your kid up from the bus stop at 3:30, right? So if they tell you from the beginning, like our hard hours are 9 to 5, we're not willing to work with you or anything like that, I don't think you should take the job. I think that you should keep searching. And I know that sounds like some people may take that kind of negatively, especially because like right now we're in COVID and everyone's saying like, oh, there's a job shortage and things like that. Mental health is really important, maintaining your sanity like as you're working a job, and being sad and being depressed, and you may even like your job but may not necessarily like the work environment. That will also take a toll on your mental health. So I think it's important to be mindful about like choosing the right work environment. So just keep hopping. Keep hopping until you find a place that you actually like.
All right, you heard it from Tasha herself. She said, keep hopping, y'all. Keep hopping to find what and where you need to be in life. Thank you so much, Tasha, for being on and telling your story and your experiences. We really appreciate you.
All right, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. We'll be right back. Next, Tabitha James is with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Thomas Anthony Jones. You might know me from Good Trouble or This Is Us. I encourage you to watch The Michael Finkley Show on Roku TV and on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe.
Calling all TRIO, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our College Readiness Cohort Series. This College Readiness Series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
This is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really? If interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We are talking about jobs. And our next guest says she's had between 25 and 30 jobs in her lifetime. Y'all, it's Tabitha James. Welcome back, sis.
Yes, well, I'm so excited to be back and super pumped to be talking about this topic because that's probably something that's really unknown about me. So I'm excited to share and dive into this. It's going to be fun.
I'm ready because when you sent me that message, I'm like, 25 to 30. You're not even 30. Let's do it. Let's do it. I love it. Let's do it. So your first job, right? What was that like? How did this all start for you?
Okay, cool. So this is the funny part of how this even like makes sense long term. So my first job was at McDonald's. I was a 17-year-old senior in high school, and I literally got the job as a joke, y'all. So I played sports all through high school, never worked. I mean, some of my friends did, but I spent a lot of my time doing the church activities, sports, or like clubs and whatever, right? But it was senior year. So my tenure as an athlete had ended. I knew I wasn't playing collegiate sports because I wasn't going to the WNBA. I'm 5 foot, right? So that time was over. I went into McDonald's the day of my last game to get a snack before we got on the bus. They were doing open interviews in the lobby, and I just went over there like as a joke. I think my friend actually dared me to do it, but I don't necessarily remember the semantics of the story. That was like 2009, so it's been a little minute. But I went over there and talked to the lady. I was like, hey, I've never worked before. She's like, tell me a little bit about yourself. So I told her about myself and my grades and all of that, and she was like, hired. What? So I go outside, I'm like, Mom, I got a job. She said I could start when the season's over. And my mom is like busting out laughing because I'm an only child, and y'all know the stigma of only children is that we're spoiled. And I don't know if that's true or not. But anywho, no one in my family nor my friend circle expected me to like keep the job because like it's McDonald's. You dropping fries, it's hot. people kind of rude. They just did not think I was going to be here for it. And I worked there for 2.5 years until I went on to my next kind of position because I had moved away from my area to go to college. But I even traveled back when I first went to school to work there. So that was my first job.
How long did you keep that first job?
2.5 years. So I worked there the duration of the rest of my senior year, all of that summer. And then throughout my freshman and sophomore years, I came back to my home area to work there during breaks, sometimes during weekends to get that extra cash.
Wow. And so as time went on, because you said that happened in 2009, so we're talking about a 12-year span of employment. So how would you say that you would get these jobs, and how long would you stay on these different jobs?
So it's funny. So it depends on the season of life, right? So after leaving
I love that.
Because when I think about the various jobs I've had over the years, some of them were just, part-time opportunities to make it through college or grad school or whatever, right? And so it just depended on the season of life and what they were willing to do, I guess, for me. So I left McDonald's and started work. My next job was Waffle House. That was my first server job. Waffle House to Wonderworks, y'all. Waffle House to Wonderworks. And so my next job was Waffle House. And I so happened to have a boss who was an alum of my undergrad alma mater, Coastal Carolina. And it was a blessing because I was straight up, y'all. I'm 19 years old, and this is how upfront I was. I said, listen here, I need to make money, right? But I'm here to go to school first and to enjoy college second. And then working is like third, but it's also a priority. So I made a commitment that when I wanted to be off or whatever, I would make sure that I got it to them at least 2 weeks in advance. Because here's the deal. Right. I'm requesting off, which means I'm not coming. Y'all figure it out. So don't put me on that schedule if I request your off. So yeah. Let's work it out. And so I had another position. I won't necessarily, I'm not going to speak on this space because we didn't really have a good experience or whatever, but it was a grocery store and they weren't here for my schedule. So I left, right? I was like, I'm out because I had to stay true to this isn't my, I would say I'm in my first 10 or 15 jobs. Like, this is not my long term. This is a stop along the journey. I hope to learn. I hope to earn. But I'm not here for the long haul, right? I have a future. And so I'm not going to allow picking up a shift at 7:00 to block me from going to some type of networking event as a college student. Like, I knew what I was there for. So that's where there was somewhat of a high turnover rate with some of those part-time jobs. Like I said, I did a grocery store, I did a few clothing stores, and some of those were like short-term, anywhere from like a few weeks to a few months, because it just didn't fit into my narrative. Even when I first became a career professional, I would have a part-time job, and I'm like, at the end of the day, my full-time job comes first, my personal life comes second, and this is a part-time opportunities for my travel funds, my sorority funds. If it don't work out, I'm out.
You just gotta go. You gotta go. And in each of those positions, what did you learn about employment? What did you learn ultimately about yourself?
What I learned about myself was I wanted to be a business owner, right? Because I wanted more autonomy over my life and my schedule, but also I wanted to be able to provide opportunities for others, right? I learned a plethora of leadership and customer service skills because a lot of my jobs were in the hospitality industry. I studied that in college. And so learning how to connect with people, no matter where they're from, no matter if they got $0 or $1 billion, because you don't really know, right? When I work with the Marriott brand, the way that they teach and train you on customer service and leadership is unmatched. And so all of those skills I've been able to bring into who I am as a business owner, who I am as a consultant who works with various types of organizations and businesses. I'm able to bring all of those experiences, good, bad, and in between, into who I am today. And so I learned, just so much patience, right? Planning.
Yeah.
I thought I was a planner, right? I thought I was a planner, even in that first job. I thought I was a planner because I was able to juggle my organizations and my sports and my scholarship applications and whatever else. But once I got a job, I had to be even more proactive because I made that commitment to them. Look, I'm going to give you the days I need off early because I expect you to give me the days off. So it taught me to advocate for myself and not let anyone enslave me into a position. Transitioning from McDonald's to a career professional, I took my PTO. I ain't never had no rollover days.
I took it all. Listen, that's what it's there for.
I take it all because that's what it's for. And I also not going to explain why I'm taking it off, right? Whether it's because I need a mental health day or it's because I'm about to go to South Florida with my friends. Either way, I'm going to utilize my benefits to ultimately support me as a human because I'm a human first.
Right. You're human. Yeah, definitely. And please remind our viewers what you do as a business owner today.
Yes, viewers, sure. So as a business owner today, I work a lot with the executives and leaders of organizations to build out strategic plans. That is what I do. That is what I breathe. That is what I live. And having so many job experiences has added to that. Of course, what I've studied educationally added to that. But I will say that working in so many varying industries has allowed me to bring so many cross figures of experience to the marketing plans, to the business plans, to building funnels, to advocating. I am transparent. I work a lot with Black people. I work a lot with Black women. And oftentimes voices are silenced for Black women. And so when they step outside of their profession, whatever it may be, to building either A, a side hustle, or B, a business that they want to eventually leave their career, there's a lot of mindset work that I end up doing. And I'm able to just tap into how I'm like, listen, I was 19 telling people, look, this is what my schedule is going to be. So as a business owner working with other owners and other leaders, I'm really engraving in them, like, if you have an option, you can build a business or you can build another job that you don't like.
There you go.
Take a pick.
There you go. I can't with you, but I can definitely get what you're saying. So with all of that, you are the person you are today, and I know that you are a firehouse at what you do. Literally, I know this. And so thank you again for telling your story. Thank you so much. And I know that you learned a lot from these experiences, and it shows today. Thank you,
really
Tabitha.
did. And I think I just want to end with, it taught me not to fear leaving things that did not fit me. There are so many people who
now you're dropping gems.
Okay, I gotta drop a gem before I go. So many people get stuck in these jobs. We don't, times change, right? So don't let anyone tell you just because they got somewhere, because they stayed there for 30 or 40 years, that doesn't exist anymore. And there's not a lot of company loyalty to humans anymore either. So what you have to do is be for you. And if it does not fit you, do something your ancestors couldn't do and shoot the deuces, because Indeed exists, DoorDash exists. So many things exist that you can do. You can make it do what it do to be happy. Yeah. So I'm just challenging anyone listening to choose you, right? If it is not a good fit, build your exit plan. I'm not just saying just bounce, shoot the deuces with no thoughts or anything like that. Sometimes you have to do it that way because you got to choose yourself. But if you don't have to do it that way, build out your plan. Have a strong personal profile, whether that's on LinkedIn, Facebook, your resume, all the things that speak of you. Make sure those things are updated and you are sharp at what you do, and you'll be able to pivot whatever way you need to. So I had to leave with that. Don't be afraid to change it. If it doesn't fit you, say bye-bye. And everyone isn't meant to go be a business owner. So I'm not saying you have to leave to go start something, but you can leave and go find a company that is a better fit for who you are and who you're becoming.
With that said, because I ain't gonna say nothing else after that. With that said, Tabitha, thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you for telling your story and your experiences. Thank you. Coming up, Richard Drosin is with us to give us some awesome career advice. We'll be right back. Looking for a mentoring program for your young male between the age of 6 and 18 in Columbia, South Carolina? Well, look no further. Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program is the program for you. Under the leadership of Mr. Jamal Stroud, Big Homie, Little Homie is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that caters and mentors at-risk youth that come from single-parent homes. The organization caters to young males between the ages of 6 and 18 within the greater Columbia area. The organization is devoted to shaping and molding their life into great men of society. Big Homie Little Homie organizes male gatherings, discussions, and even educational assistance devoted to guiding and leading them into a positive light. Making a positive attitude will help in transforming their life regardless of what is experienced in life. For more information on Big Homie Little Homie Mentoring Program, visit our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, you heard from our guests earlier, right? One having between 25 and 30 jobs and another having 32 jobs. Right. There's a lot. But we have the career coach expert here with us, Richard Drosin. Richard, thank you for being with us today.
Absolutely. And thank you for having me. You know, it's a pleasure always coming on your show.
Sir, when I decided to do this segment, I said, I got to get Richard. Definitely have to get Richard, because last year alone, let's just brag about Richard for a little bit, right? Last year alone, you helped 320 persons within their career endeavors. What was the highest salary you saw?
Ooh, I think it was like over 100. Highest, increase, I think was like 130 plus, I believe. And total compensation, I think was like 280 something for somebody else. So yeah, it was pretty good year.
Wow. And you're off to an awesome roll for 2021. Where are your stats now?
Shoot, I think I had 27 as of today. Someone got hired today. So that's 27 people that got hired this month. So I believe, let me see, because let me give you accurate numbers, because I'm all about the right data. Y'all know that.
That's
all right about the right data. Hold on. Oh,
wow.
Lord have mercy.
And just imagine
54 for the year already.
54?
Yep, for the year already.
Wow. Amazing. And y'all look, even during the pandemic.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't one, but it's okay.
But those are still awesome numbers.
Honestly, yeah, I don't think, I'm actually doing better during the pandemic than I think I did my first year, really taking it hard. I think it was like 275 the first year or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where I really, hold on, before everybody start thinking he just started like a year ago. No. When I actually started, right, that's when I really started taking, notes of how many people I actually helped in that year. I just saying, wait a minute, I'm averaging X, Y, and Z. Then we go back. Okay, so wow, I actually done pretty good. So yeah, and
amazing.
Very happy.
Amazing. Keep going, bro. Keep going. And so, Richard, you heard from our guests, right? One having 25 to 30 jobs in their short time frame here on Earth, and another one 32. Is that the norm?
I mean, amongst millennials and maybe the new generation of folks, it can be, but that's also sort of like an excessive amount. Now, to be honest with you, it depends on the breakdown of their jobs and what they've been doing. So a lot of folks end up getting what they call like the temporary positions, or they end up getting positions like project based, or they're doing consultant work. The thing is, you have to identify what that looks like and what that means. Now, that's one aspect of it, because people that are in that industry, they already know. When you're dealing with people that are job hoppers, I consider myself one as well, because I've jumped quite a bit, but never 32 or 20. That's an excessive amount, and it's almost like, how can you explain that? So then you hire someone like me to help kind of tell your story and put everything together, it to a certain extent, it's now shifting that way where it's starting to be acceptable to jump ship and jump to other jobs, but it's the frequency, and you're still going to get certain questions because there's still baby boomers around. There's still plenty of folks that are still here that are actually in higher leadership positions, especially in government or certain places where those questions are still being asked. So then, until you start having more of the millennials, in certain key positions, that right now it's not normal. We'll just say as of right now, it's still not normal.
I gotcha. And so you talked about the different generations before millennials and what have you. What does it look like for a person in this present day to stay on a job for 30 or 40 years like our grandparents did?
Oh man, those are the last of the dying breed, in my opinion, because it's really, those were on good times for a lot of those folks. And you have to remember, a lot of those folks who are already in those positions, government, corporate, or whatever, they've already maxed out their salary, whatever they're at. They're good. They're not trying to necessarily leave. They already have whatever retirement that they have. So they're like literally the last few holdovers, because a lot of these organizations are shifting their retirement. They're shifting the way they fund certain things. So it's a big shift. The thing about with the older generation, the folks that have been around, they still believe, hey, you need to stay X, Y, and Z. You need to stay at this job. You be loyal to the company. Well, that attitude has shifted. Now it's folks are less loyal to the company because they see how companies are cutthroat. They're cutting people. They're firing people. They're letting people go. And people are realizing, no, why do I need to be loyal to this company if I'm going to be treated X, Y, and Z? They did that to so-and-so. What are they going to do to me? So where things before was all about stability in the household and hey, we don't make a big fuss of anything. You have a conscious driven amount of people nowadays that care about social justice, they care about diversity inclusion, they care about things that actually impact the organization, and they're looking at companies to say, do I want to be a part of that? Do I want to be a part of your organization? Who do you have on the board? Who do you have X, Y, and Z? Things that actually matter, where rather than, hey, I'm going to give you a $3 increase for being here for 25 plus years. I'm like, yay, that's not the case anymore.
Mm-hmm.
People are now like, nah, I want the $15 increase. I'll go get it myself. Bye-bye.
Yeah. And finding more of
that is sort of the positive part of being a job hopper, because you're writing your own ticket to what your salary could be based upon experience, if you can speak it right.
Right. Ooh, that's good. That's definitely good. And so, focusing on that job hopper, what advice would you give to someone in a positive light that may be still trying to find themselves in going from job to job to job?
It's number one, it's okay. It is okay. Because it took me a while. And then once I put for myself, when I got out the Army, there's a reason why it's things like 3 years, they call the recently separated veteran, because it really does take you about 3 years really to kind of figure, well, for some, it could take longer. But the point what I'm making is that it takes a while for you to really adapt to work culture, environments, trying to figure out what you like and what you don't like. And it's also okay to understand that most people are not blessed to have the careers until they're in their 30s, mid 30s, and 40s. So your 20s and you're coming out of college or coming out, some of us might be blessed that, yes, you found your career. It could be a career in government. That is a career. You could have a career in, and I'm trying to think outside of that. Okay, I got a job at Deloitte or, KPMG or Ernst & Young. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to stick here forever and work for one of the big four and keep moving, that is somewhat of a career, but you already identified that. A lot of people don't do that, and with that being said, I mean, it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but I will say, identify what you like. If there are components of things that you like while you're job hopping and they all align, then you're on track. Because for me I always knew that I was a support guy. Everything I did was admin related. It was support, it was logistics, it was facilities, it was everything. So I said, okay, I'm in the background helping the front or day-to-day staff doing whatever they need to do, whether it's a scientist, the social workers, the cops, etc. I'm the support element. So I've identified that. It's easy if you're, for example, working on something that this is my background. So let's just say you're, IT folks can just get jobs like that. But let's just say, you know what I mean, you're IT consultant, right? And you did 30 jobs in 10 years. Okay, I could see that. Because essentially there's so many different variations of IT. You probably could have been doing customer support for 6 of those years. Then you say, well, I'd like to do network administration or network security, another 6.
Yeah.
And now you're like, you know what? The big fad of data analytics is coming. Let me start hopping on data. Then you say, oh, I want cybersecurity. Let me start getting get a security analyst role. Let me start trying to eventually move up to like a red team, blue team on cyber. So again, but that you see, the way I described that was like career progression in each one of those steps that makes you an expert in IT, not necessarily an expert in each one of those fields, but an expert in the total functionality of the umbrella of information technology that you can speak on it. And then once you decide what area avenue you want to go in, you're well-rounded. At that point, you can write your own ticket, but you have to plan it. It's okay to job hop, but it's also okay to identify what it is that you're looking for. And a lot of people are just like, I just want to get paid. I want a job. But then, now you're thinking, okay, here I am, I'll tell you, a lot of my folks will probably struggle and they'll say, well, I'm old. I'm like, how old are you? I'm 45. I'm like, dude, stop. You're not. Most folks don't make a decision like they don't find their path until later on. Like, talk to me when you're 65 and I got to find a 65-year-old a job. Wow. Then talk to me. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, nah, dude, you're young. So I deal with a lot of that.
Gotcha. And having such a magnitude of jobs, how do you actually put that in a resume or even a cover letter?
Oh gosh, you can explain it in a cover letter and tell your story. That you can actually be a little bit more free in nature and how you describe that. On a resume, you got to be very succinct with it. You can either explain it like, okay, from 2000 to 2015, various roles within companies, consulted on projects on X, Y, and Z, break it down via what you've done. That way, when someone reads it, it's like, oh, okay, so you've been at a variety of places. Were you working as a consultant? In short, I was. I worked in various organizations. I worked in various locations where I was doing X, Y, and Z, and that was something I was able to do and achieve. Yeah. You talk like that, people say, okay, he or she actually has something of value, because you're breaking it down to make sense regarding what you're doing and how people can receive it. The problem is a lot of people are timid and they're afraid because they've been moving. They're like, oh, could you look at my resume? I don't know. I've been doing this. I've jumped people eat that alive. They see that and they're going to bark and they're going to attack. You say, well, I don't know how we're going to hire you. You've been around. You've done too much. So you have to play into it, but do it in a way that's presentable. Tell your story. And this is why it's important for you to have achievements. If you can't you can't write the achievements in all those places and at least have something in the forefront, man, you can forget about it. There's no way you could have jumped that many places and not at least done something positive. Right. Highlight it.
Right. Oh, the expert himself. I tell you, Richard Drosin, y'all. How can they find you on social media?
So they can find me at on LinkedIn it's Richard Drosin. On Facebook, it's RD Resume and Career Coaching. My website for my business is rdroresumes.com, rdroresumes.com. IG is rdro resumes, and you can find me there.
All right, you heard it here. Richard Drosin, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Toby. You know me from Sister Act 2, Mr. Oh Happy Day, and the hit R&B group City High. I'm welcoming everybody to tune into the Michael Finkley Show on YouTube and also on the Greater Works Network on Roku TV. Don't forget to subscribe.
Hello, welcome back. So you know what today is? Today is Monday, Motivational Mondays with my dear brother, my dear friend, Tim Clifton. Tim, take it away.
What's up, man? It's Millennial Coach TC, and I want to start this off a little bit different, go into a different topic, and I just want to tell somebody. I want to motivate and inspire somebody to keep going and stay positive. You know, life can bring some very hard challenges, and life can really beat you up, man. I just want to tell you, do not suffer in that. Keep your mind in a positive state. Stay optimistic and just keep pushing and keep going and keep shooting for the stars, because anything that life throws at you, I know and I believe in you that you can get through whatever. I believe in you, but as if you believe in yourself mentally to get through anything that life throws at you. Man, it's not always easy to be positive, but I promise you, if you just be positive and push through the struggles, then when you ever get to the other side, or whenever you get to the sunlight, or what you want to call that other side of glory, you're going to appreciate everything. You know what I'm saying? You're going to really see what being positive and what being optimistic is really about. Not saying that being positive is really overlooking things and throwing things to the side and being delusional. Being positive means, yes, this is happening to me. Yes, this may be very hard, but I believe in myself and I know I have the strength to get through whatever this is. Whatever stage this is, whatever life lesson this is, it's a blessing within. And I know that. And as long as I keep that in my mind, then I know that I can get through anything in life. So I just want to encourage you to stay positive, stay optimistic, and believe that through whatever struggle you have, it's a hidden gem inside it. And when you get to that hidden gem, you will understand that it all was in a plan. And it all was working for you and for your faith.
On the next Michael Finkley. You loved her as Thelma Evans in Good Times. Now Finkley has her. Bernadette Stannis is with us. Next Finkley. Friday. Hello everybody, welcome back. What did you learn? I hope that you learned something. This was a very educational moment. Let's just see how many jobs have you had in these many years that you've been working. Comment below and let's have a conversation. Thank you so much, Tabitha. Thank you so much, Tasha, for being on and telling your stories. Thank you, Richard, for giving your awesome advice on this awesome topic of career choices. Thank you so much. On the next Michael Finkley, y'all, we have my dear friend, my dear brother, actor Thomas Anthony Jones with us as he talks about what he's up to now. What is he doing? And then also, too, I am so excited. We have the Fantasia impersonator with us today. Javelin DeBose is with us as he talks about his ride in being Fantasia, what that looks like, what that sounds like. And y'all, he gets to perform on our show. Oh, so exciting. So that's a Wednesday show. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Ring that bell for notification. We'll send you an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And please, for up-to-date information about what we're doing on this end, visit our website at michaelfinkley.com. Thank you so much for watching. And guess what? We'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good one.